Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the shop tour. We're going to dive right in and go check out the exposure unit. So, hope you enjoy. Alright, so this is my exposure unit. It's the Lincoln ES2 vacuum exposure unit. You can see it's got a nice little vacuum on it, which gives it a nice tight stencil when I burn these. Also has the safe lights in it so I can see what I'm doing and not screw things up. I put some foam strips in here that keeps the screen aligned. And then I have some clear tape here that marks where I put my template. So basically I use the same size screens for now, and I use 13 by 19 print templates, so I don't really have to move things around at this point. Once I start using larger screens, I'll obviously have to change this, but I don't foresee that in the near future. This thing is awesome. I used to have a light hanging from the shelf with pure UV lights in it, and I would slide a screen underneath that. That worked really fine. I mean, that worked really well, actually. But sometimes the edge of the stencil wasn't real, tight, wasn't real crisp. So this thing took care of that. I get a really nice burn out of my templates now. So very grateful that I got this. I've had this, I think, about a week and a half now, and used it about a dozen times, and so far I love this thing. So let's move on to my shocker press. So this is the shocker press. It's a 6-color, 6-station press. This thing is really good. I really like this thing. It's smooth. It's very accurate. This has the XYZ registration here. Very easy to maneuver and really lines things up well. It's a very accurate piece of equipment. This was my first real investment. I got this probably about a month after I started the company. I may have said in other videos I had the old 1-station 4-color press, and that wasn't working, so I got this thing and it made my life so much better. I really like this thing. It took about maybe 6 months or so to get it where I don't have to move a lot of stuff around. I had to adjust things, adjust tightness, adjust looseness, and I'm finally to the point after about 5 or 6 months where I can just put the screens on here, register them, and get going with my shirts. So this thing is really good. I would highly recommend it for anybody just getting into the game. Good equipment here. Got it from Nevertheless. Those guys are great over there. I've gotten a few things from them. They do good business, so I would recommend them highly. So let's go to my other press. So this here is the Riley Hopkins 4-color 4-station press. This thing is awesome. It's very sturdy, very heavy. Setting this thing up for me alone was crazy. Just getting this piece here up onto the stand. I actually had to disassemble this into 4 pieces just to get it up there. I mean, this thing's got to weigh 500 pounds. But it's very sturdy, very, very tough. You can see how thick this stuff is here compared to the other ones. Very accurate, very easy to register. It also has the XYZ micro registration, which makes every printer's life a lot easier. It doesn't have the joystick. I'm curious as to how that works. I've never used it. I've not heard a whole lot about it. So I'm curious as to how good it is. It seems to get good reviews, but I like to try things out for myself before I go saying whether it's good or bad. But this thing is awesome. This is a great press. If you can afford it, I would highly recommend it. Again, it's Riley Hopkins. They're kind of one of the Lamborghinis of print presses. They've got a very good standard, and they've got very good quality products. So highly recommended. And I love this baby. It's nice. Let's check out the conveyor dryer. So this here is the Vastex D1000 conveyor dryer. This is a really good piece of equipment. Very happy with it. I bought it used, but as you can see, I mean, this thing's in pretty much new condition. There's a couple little things that I could probably wash off with a rag, but it's in very good shape and very impressive. It does, at full capacity, does 110 shirts per hour with plastisol, and I think it's 50 with discharge ink, I think is what it is. It's very, very easy to figure out, and luckily I didn't have to assemble it. I brought it here whole. It does come with a 10-inch extension, which I think you put here and here, and it'll give you an extra 10 inches here, which is good. You have a little more room to put your shirts on. I don't need it at this point, so this is working for me. It's got the heat, got the belts here. Also, this thing raises and lowers. The heater goes up and down. So if everything is set and it's just a little too hot, I don't have to mess with the controls. I can just raise the heater up a little bit. And the heater tilts. So if you're doing hats, you can put the hats in there and it'll tilt towards the hat so that you can dry the hat. So this thing's really good. It's a really, really good dryer, and I'm very happy with it. It's sped production up tenfold. You can get them, I think, well, Vastex obviously sells them. You can get them on any dealer right now. They also have a D100, which is much smaller. It's not a whole lot less than this thing, so I would recommend getting this over the D100 just because the D100 has a 18-inch belt, whereas this is a 26-inch wide belt, and it's much easier to put shirts on that. So, what do we got left here? Well, my washout booth. Let's go check that out. Alright, so this is my handmade washout station. This is made of just 2x4s and plastic. This is actually drop cover plastic for painters. I just stapled that up on the sides here. In the back, I've got a sheet of plexiglass that keeps me from tearing the plastic when I'm pressure washing. And this is actually just a Husky storage bin. And this is a brace that I built that goes into it. This holds the screens. I don't know if you can see it too well, but that holds the screens in place so they don't move all over the place while I'm spraying them out. And then in the bottom of the bin, I cut a hole. I installed a drain with some sealant, and I have that running outside into a container which collects all the anything that's not water. So this thing's awesome. I can't believe it's still working. I mean, the only problem with it is if I use a high pressure with the pressure washer, the mist blows back on me. And during the summer, that's not too bad because it gets to be about 120 degrees in here without the AC. So it's a nice little cooling, refreshing spray. But during the winter, like right now when it's really cold, it's not too comfortable. So I actually use a lower pressure spray during the winter just to keep that from happening. But this thing's, you know, I'm kind of proud of it. But can I wait to get a real one? No, I definitely want to get a real one, you know, an official washout station. But for now, this thing works. I'm probably going to use it for quite a while before I invest in a real one. This table down here that the bin sits on is actually a separate piece from this. So you could take this cover off, sit it aside, and then you can take this bin out and wash it out. So I made it accessible so that when, you know, you can see it, it probably needs to be washed out now. There's a lot of ink and stuff all over it. So it's easy to clean. As for the plastic, once this gets, you know, a lot worse than it is, I just tear it out and staple up new stuff. So it cost me, I think it was about $65, $70 to build. So it's a good investment, you know, for me. I think these washout booths go for anywhere from $300 to $500. So this was a good money saver for starting out. And like I said, I can't wait to get a real one. So anybody wants to buy me one, hey, I'm all about it. But I doubt that's going to happen. So I'll use this for a while. What's next? Flash dryers. All right, the flash dryers. First, I bought this one when I got the conveyor dryer and this Riley Hopkins press. The guy threw it in as a freebie. This is a BBC Black Flash. It's a 16x16. He said this thing's from the early 90s. His parents used it. It works perfect. I plugged it in. This thing's it heats up. It's an infrared, so you know it's got nice even heat. I've tried it out. I like this thing. And when you consider this thing's like 25, 30 years old, that's pretty good quality because anything that you buy that gets hot on a regular basis, any kind of heater, to think that it would last for 25, 30 years, and he said they never had it repaired. This thing, they bought it, and it's just worked. So, BBC, you know, hats off to you. You got quality equipment. You know, to last that long, that really says something. Not sure if I'm going to keep it though. I've got this one here, which works perfectly fine. So I may sell this. I don't know. Again, you know, back and forth about these things. I like my toys, but at the same time, it's like I'm in limited space. What do I keep? What do I sell? Whatever. So good equipment. Might keep it. I don't know. This, well, I wish I could tell you what brand it is. I bought this like 7 months ago before I knew really what I was buying. I can't even remember where I bought it from. I tried looking for the order. It's buried in my receipt somewhere, and I just didn't have time to look for it. But what I can say is it's good. It's a 16 by 20 infrared. I think I bought it off Ryan, but I can't guarantee that. I don't know. This is what I used to cure before I bought the conveyor dryer, and does a great job. But like I said, with any flash dryer, it doesn't matter how good it is. It's going to take a lot of time to cure. But as far as flash drying, this thing's awesome. You know, a couple seconds and it's flash drying. So I would highly recommend it if I could tell you what brand it was. So I think that's about it. That's pretty much my shop. You guys have seen the whole thing beginning to end. You know, I do plan on growing. I like any business, I want to get bigger and, you know, expand out of here. The only reason I don't want to leave this space is because it's right next to my house. You know, this is actually my detached garage. So, you know, it's nice when I got an order to just walk out in the morning and knock them out. You know, get it warmed up in here and knock them out. But eventually, you know, I'm going to have to move out of here and get something bigger. Until that time, I'm going to enjoy the space I got. I hope you guys enjoyed following me around in my shop, looking at all my stuff. I know I had fun showing it off. I've been waiting a long time to do this. So if you will please like and subscribe, I truly appreciate it. And I will be back with you shortly. I got a lot of plans for some videos, and I can't wait to make them, and I can't wait to see you guys there. So peace out, guys.